serious flares. I wouldn't be a security guard there. Crazy.
Hi guys, welcome to HFB. The game in this video is on the bucket list of every true football enthusiast. Our destination is Belgrade, the capital of Serbia, and the game is of course CRVENA ZVEZDA, also known as Red Star Belgrade, against FK Partizan, also known as Partizan Belgrade. I've been looking forward to this moment. I've seen other vloggers describing the Budapest derby as Europe's most dangerous football game. You know what I say? It's bullshit. It's really good at times. That's my local derby. I go there a lot. But it's definitely not the most dangerous. In my book, the most dangerous derby has to be in Greece, Turkey or Serbia. And if I have to name one, I'd definitely say ZVEZDA against Partizan. It's ferocious, notorious, but above all, so passionate. We are about to find out. If the stadium bursts once again, we're in for a treat. Common names for this fixture are Večiti derby and BEOGRADSKI derby. It will be the 169th occasion. Last season, ZVEZDA won the league by 2 points, with the race being open till the very last match day. It's somewhat different now, with Red Star having a 13-point comfortable lead on top of the table. Their fans are definitely proud of that. You know what else are they proud of? There are only 2 teams in Eastern Europe to win the European Cup, equivalent of today's Champions League. One of them is the Romanian Steaua Bucharest in 1986, and the other one is CRVENA ZVEZDA in 1991. ZVEZDA also won the Intercontinental Cup in the same year, which is the equivalent of today's Club World Cup. Back to the derby, 2 teams with rich history, both established in 1945, and their stadiums are less than a kilometer apart. This game is in ZVEZDA's home, Stadion Rajko Mitic, also known as the Maracana of Europe. Basic literacy of this game are the ultra section names at the respective clubs. At CRVENA ZVEZDA it's Delije, and at Partizan it's Grobari. Okay, that's it, enough of the talk. What are we waiting for? Let's go. How old were you when you visited your first Partizan game?
I was 6 years old. It was the day after my 6th birthday when my dad took me to the match. I think it was against Borac. We won 2-1, and you know, it's stuck with me ever since. It's one of my earliest childhood identities, and the only thing that I kept since childhood with me to this day.
How does it affect the mood of Partizan fans that year, now 13 points behind ZVEZDA?
Well, it's something we're used to in the last couple of years.
It was one of the last 5 leagues and before that.
Yeah, 2017 was the last title. I mean, it's devastating really, but you know, I mean, it's like this club board is doing everything it can to destroy this club, to make it a club with no ambition. And
not happy with the board at all right now?
No, not happy with the board at all. But you know, again, you know, the derby is not just about the title. You know, it's not always a title-defining match. You know, sometimes it's a stuff. It's a thing of prestige. You know, I mean, if you are 5th, 1st, whatever, when you win against your biggest rivals, that's the sweetest thing in the whole season.
If you could choose between the league title and losing both derbies, or actually all the 3 derbies, or like 2nd place and winning all the 3 derbies, because you have 3 a year, right?
Yeah.
To in like the main phase and in the championship round.
That's a tough question, but
that's why I asked it.
This season is specific because the champion will go to the Champions League without qualification, which is not a small thing for Serbian football. This season I would maybe choose the title, but you know, any other day it's a win against ZVEZDA.
Is this the most dangerous derby to go to in Europe?
One of the most dangerous, definitely, but you know, I haven't been to many other derbies, so I can't say, oh, well, 100% for sure, but this really is one of the most passionate derbies, not just in Europe, but in the whole world. Well,
quite many clubs also in Eastern Europe, also in Hungary. You have other sports as well. Being a Partizan supporter doesn't only include going to football games, but also to basketball, for instance. And how does?
It's kind of like this. It's not just football and basketball. Partizan is an entire sports society. Partizan has clubs in many sports. So we don't go just to football and basketball. We go to handball, water polo, women's basketball.
It's a way of life, 100%.
Well, yeah, it's not like Partizan is your club in football and your club in handball is somebody else. You have Partizan in handball and it's all Partizan. And really, when you know, Partizan is the sports society with the most won trophies in general in the world. I'm not joking. I think we have more than Real Madrid and clubs like that.
Collecting all the sports.
Yeah, collecting all the sports, and that's something really to be proud of. And Partizan is a club that produced a lot of high quality players throughout all sports, not just football and basketball. I think that we in Serbia are definitely lucky to have a club like that.
Which game has the better atmosphere, the Večiti derby in football or the derby in basketball?
Well, it's different because in derby, maybe not in the recent years, but earlier in a derby, it's like the audience was almost 50-50 at the stadium. So it's very
even in like football.
In football.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but but since you know the splits among the global and stuff like that, it's not the case in the last few seasons. Earlier, yeah, it was almost a 50-50 crowd, and in basketball, it's always pretty much almost no away fans, just home fans, and even if there are away fans, it's like 90% to 10%. So. Yeah, definitely. If things are going well in the game, basketball is definitely a better atmosphere. No, I mean it's indoors, and the acoustics are better, so it's far more logical that the atmosphere has better adrenaline.
So as a Partizan supporter, you have kind of a hobby which is collecting pins.
Yeah,
tell us a bit about that. Do you have a favorite?
Too bad I didn't bring some of them here. Well, yeah, I've been collecting pins for a long time. My grandfather handed me some of his pins, and I kind of picked out the Partizan pins from there, and I started building my collection on. Some of my favorite pins I love European game pins. I have a pin dedicated to the Champions Cup final in '66 when we were runners-up of the tournament, and I love having some of the early pins when Partizan wasn't black and white yet, when we were kind of like red and blue. So yeah, some of the rare early stuff. Those are some of the pins I am really proud of.
More special pieces.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that was it then. Thank you very much for taking your time, and best of luck in the game.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers to everybody.
We're 1.5 hours before kickoff, and it's kind of hard now to get to our entrance because there's a Partizan march. There's actually the end of it. They're accompanied by the police. This is already the police line. It's over. I think we'll be able to go to the other side now where our seat is. Shop of the home ultras, the Dalia shop. Let's get inside. I really like the old school vibe here. This stadium, Rajko Mitic, was opened in 1963, and here we are at the official shop. We're gonna check out this one as well.
"20 minutes to go until kickoff. Delia are filling up. Grobari there. And the Partizan players are warming up. It is actually a tradition at CRVENA that their players aren't warming up. They are warming up like they're over outside the stadium on their training pitch. They never warm up inside the stadium. So the supporters see them actually the first time when they enter the pitch. And there is that really long tunnel. Just the end of it is there. It's some experience to go through that as a player. It's a quite long walk till the stadium, and you can hear the Delia jumping, bouncing, screaming from above. Here I have a fellow countryman, so I won't ask where you're from, but is it your first time in Serbia?
Yes, it is. I am completely amazed by the atmosphere here. I've never seen such amount of away fans. Like there are about 5,000 people from the Grobari as well, but the Delia are still dominant in this pitch.
Well, we'll see about that. It's actually, we haven't seen much of the atmosphere yet, but you're already saying it's amazing. What, have you heard of this derby before?
Of course, that it's the most dangerous derby in Europe. Like you can hear the Delia, but just look at the policemen gathered around the stadium. So yeah, it's dangerous, and I wouldn't mess with any of the ultras.
That's quite obvious, yes. What do you make of the game? How do you think the atmosphere will be?
I think Partizan would give all they have because they basically lost the championship.
They are 13 points behind, so technically, mathematically, they can still win it, but they are like way behind. Do you think that will affect their support?
Yes, they will give all they have. I think they will win, but I still support the Delia in this game because elsewhere they will beat me up.
What's your score prediction for the game?
2-1 for Partizan.
If we look closer at the Delia, we see a strawberry flag. We saw that yesterday as well in form of a graffiti on the wall. And there's a friend next to me who will explain a bit about that.
The strawberry symbol there on the Delia is for Marko Ivkovic. He was murdered by Turkish fans. He was fan of CRVENA ZVEZDA, and during an away day for a basketball game, he was murdered by Turkish fans. And as tribute, they have that flag always there.
This is exactly what we are expecting from a derby like this. The Večiti derby is underway. There are some disagreements amongst Partizan supporters actually. So for some time they have two separate away sections. That's Grobari there we see now. There is the other section just separated from the home supporters there by security guard line. They're definitely like way more in between a chance before finishing my sentence. Cross! You see Partizan supporters are ripping off the chairs and throw them towards the ZVEZDA players who went to celebrate to their corner. Flare on the pitch, mantle. Fifth minute, the cross was deflected and really unlucky for Partizan. The defender touched it with his head. It just got its way past the keeper. European football culture, or world football culture, we should rather say, at its finest. I can't understand this chant, but I bet this is. But I bet it's an insult towards Grobari, because they say Grobari in the beginning, quite logically. You can see people getting some silver material. That's for the first Tifo of the game. There we go. awesome work from the ZVEZDA Tifo group, really hats off, and that's my favorite part, when they are just waving it around. It's so spectacular. End of the first half, the score is 1-0 for the red and whites. It was an alright atmosphere, pretty extraordinary at times. The Pyro show in the beginning, and after that the Tifo was really great. The game itself wasn't enjoyable. There were a lot of breaks because of injuries, and I think there was one single shot on target with the really big save, but it went to the middle, so it was basically, the keeper was basically in the way. There was the goal, but that was deflected in of the defender, so that's not a shot on target. But we're here for the atmosphere first of all, and to experience a memorable event, and I'm here to bring this Belgrade derby to your screens. I hope you enjoy it so far. Let's see about the second half. I hope it's going to be even more enjoyable. I hope it's going to be an even more constant, loud atmosphere, and I hope to see some more goals. Halftime Tifo. Whistling 3, 2, 1. Third ZVEZDA Tifo incoming.
Second Pyro, third, fourth.
Second half underway. Move to the left side. That was clean. Here we go. Grobari Pyro show. Flare next to the goalpost. Various flares. I wouldn't be a security guard there. Crazy. Hit the crossbar, but it was offside. And at the tunnel there are some Partizan banners burning. Chance for a shot. It's a great hit, cleared away. What a save there. Partizan got better in the second half. We're approaching the 70th minute, and this is probably the last chance to make it a really good game. It's not a good game. it's obviously a really good experience, but it's not a good game. And if Partizan would equalize soon, that would make a really fierce last 20 minutes. But they do need to score for that. If ZVEZDA score now, really great limbs once again, and the game would be pretty much over. Short corner played by Partizan. Ball wasn't out. It's another fight on the pitch. Red card given there. Partizan down to 10 men.
Three points kept at home by ZVEZDA. They have a 16 points lead at the top of the table. This should definitely be their 6th consecutive league title end of this season. This margin means that it's a one-horse race from now on. Certainly not the best quality on the pitch, but that's always a possible outcome at derbies. The atmosphere was extraordinary in the first half for 3 times when the crowd went wild for about 60 seconds each. But the noise in the rest of the game was pretty average for my taste, I regret to say. However, the Pyro show from both sides definitely gets a 10 out of 10. The number of flares lit and bangers exploded was exactly the number I expected, so delighted with that. Speaking of which, when the goal went in and flares were thrown by the away supporters, a security guard got hit and had to be carried away by the lifeguard and the firefighters. I really hope he's alright by now. He didn't see it at all because it came from behind. Hats off to Dalia for an incredible number of 3 choreos during this game. The mosaics were especially spectacular. If you're planning on a Večiti derby in the future, here is some info. This exclusive spot at the halfway line was not expensive at all, 1,200 dinars, which is less than 11 euros. But you need to be aware when tickets drop because they are taken really quickly. I know the stadium wasn't full, but there weren't any tickets remaining online. Also, don't go anywhere without cash because most places don't accept a card. Not even apartments. It's like, if it's not a hotel, you have to pay in cash most likely, as much as that sounds crazy. That's how it is. The ATM is your best friend in Belgrade. No food, no pleškavica without cash. This was it, guys. Hit me up on one of the social media accounts of the channel if you have any questions regarding this or regarding any topic, any game which was discussed and shown on the channel before. Thanks Belgrade for this experience. I'll definitely return in the future. Greetings to the ones who are watching this from Serbia. I was HFV. This was the Večiti Derby. See you next time on the channel. Take care. Goodbye.